Hello there and welcome to yet another Season 4 guide. In this guide, I will be teaching you how to play Lee Sin like a pro. Please enjoy the video. Lee Sin can be very strong if you use his passive effectively. This is done by using a skill, auto-attack twice, use a skill, auto-attack twice, and so on. This can only be used in long-lasting fights or onto minions, because in other situations you might want to use your skill faster for the extra CC or damage. The most important mechanic on Lee Sin, for me at least, is to know how to ward jump. You can use your W to jump to allies, including allied wards and minions. This allows Lee Sin to use wards to get closer towards his target. I prefer to use SmartCast for this, but you will have to find out what you like the best. I SmartCast W and 2, with 2 being my ward slot. So basically what you do is very easy. You position your mouse at the position you would like to jump to, press 2 and W consecutively, and then perform a ward jump. The tricky part about this is knowing your ranges and doing it fast. In case you're not familiar with these ranges, try to not use SmartCast first. This way it will show you a range indicator for ward placement and for your W. Once you're used to the ranges, I encourage you to use SmartCasting. If you've mastered this mechanic, you will notice how freaking much mobility Lee Sin has. It allows for great plays and it will make hitting your Q easier. What I like to do is to do a ward jump towards an enemy, use my E twice to slow him and then use my Q. This makes hitting skill shots much easier. Another way to do it is to do the famous Insec move. This can be done with either a ward or flash and it requires you to be level 6. The Insec move is performed by placing a ward behind your target, ward jump to it and follow it up with your ultimate. This will kick your enemy back in your team, almost providing your team with a kill for free. Here are some examples of the Insec move in play. There are different variations of the move, all viable in different occasions. Let me list a few combos that are possible. These are the most commonly used combos to initiate fights or to make picks. They all have their own advantages in different situations, so it's all a matter of trying it out. Most important is to know how to perform a standard Insec move fast. If you are fast, it's going to be easy to do the move in any way you would like. Okay, but how do you learn this the fastest? Well, here's how I did it. I played Lee Sin for 10 games in a row, no matter which role, in a normal game of course, and then my second item was always a Sightstone. Now I'm not saying that this is particularly good on high level of play, but for practicing mechanics, it's great. Then once you hit level 6, try to make epic plays. This might fail miserably in the beginning, but after 1 or 2 games you will get the hang of it. Use ward jumps all the time and perform Insec moves on anyone who is out of position. You know, practice makes perfect. After 10 games I'm sure you will know exactly how to play Lee Sin. You don't need much games in order to know a champion, if you try really hard. The only problem is overall game knowledge, like matchups, timings, etc. This is all learned by playing Lee Sin over and over again. As last, I will make you familiar with a very basic Lee Sin move that does a ton of damage. The point is to maximize damage output. So basically, what you do is you Q your enemy, you ult him and you follow it up with your second Q. Since your Q skills on missing % HP and your ult deals a lot of damage, your second Q will have its maximum efficiency this way. Alright, let's summarize this guide to make it all fresh again. Number 1. After using a skill once, auto-attack twice and use the skill again for maximum damage output and maximum energy effectiveness. Number 2. Use ward jumps to get close instead of trying to hit that Q first. Ward jumps are performed by pressing 2 and W consecutively, with 2 being your ward button. Number 3. Use Insec moves to make plays by picking people out of position or engaging a fight in general. Number 4. SmartCast W and your ward button for faster ward jumps and Insec moves. Use this when you know Lee Sin's ranges. And number 5. For assassination, use your Q, ult and follow it up with your second Q to maximize damage output. For builds, masteries and item builds, I will include some links in the description to legit guides. They will help you with the basic mechanics and macro management. So that was it for this week's guide. I hope you enjoyed it and most importantly, learned something from it. This week I tried to change my whole guide layout into more advanced parts and less basic parts. I skipped the basic mechanics in this video as an experiment to see how that turns out, so please let me know what you think. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you guys next time in yet another Season 4 guide.